What's up, Buttercup? Welcome back to my channel for my January book wrap up. I read 15 books. Total is 16, but Wide Acre by Philippa Gregory. Yeah, I gave it 100 pages. I did not like it. And that book is pushing like 600, so wasn't feeling it, not gonna waste my time, but I still did not rate it because that's not enough for me to rate something. If I've read 50% or more of a book in DNF, then I'll rate it, but yeah, 100 pages out of 600 is not gonna happen, so I just donated that book to the little library and we moved on from there. Number 2, this was interesting, Skin by Audrey Rush. No rating because I couldn't decide what to rate it, so I just gave up after 5 minutes. Sometimes that happens, and I'm not going to waste my time and energy trying to figure out if I want to rate it or what I'm going to rate it. Just, we're moving on. I think if it was just a horror novella, I could have rated it, but it says on the cover and in the blurb on the book sales page on Amazon that it's a horror erotica novella. And I'm like, girl. Girl. I know she writes dark romance, but I don't, yeah. For people that actually get off on that particular book, I would say I'm not kink shaming, I'm kink asking. If it was just a regular horror novella, this wouldn't have been hard for me, but it's erotica? No, I still have it on my bookshelf. It's just, I don't know, it's there. It was interesting, but the erotica part just throws me off, people, okay? But moving into the third book I read, we have Always Lived in the Castle by Shirley Jackson. That was 4 stars, and I did a review on that. You should check it out. Number 4 is The Lottery by Shirley Jackson, and that was 4 stars. I wanted to be a bit longer, a little more in-depth, but yes, that was good as well. Number 5, Nuclear War Survival by David Cobbler. No rating because this was not new to me. Nothing in that book was new to me. But it's supposed to be a 1-hour read, and I read it in 35 or 45 minutes. So it's accurate, and that is why, like, I didn't DNF it or anything. Maybe there was something I was thinking new in there for me, but I already knew all that stuff. It's not a bad book, it's just beginner's guide. I'm a little bit of above beginner's guide thanks to my husband. So I'm gonna give it to my husband because he technically bought it for us, and I'm just gonna see what he thinks about it. Number 6, The Well of Shadows by S.A. Klopfenstein, and that's 4 stars. That's the wrap up in his book series. It's a 4-book series. And I know him from Twitter, but when I got rid of Twitter in 2020, we kind of stopped talking because, like, where else do you really talk? Well, okay, there's other places, but that happened for a few authors, and it wasn't malicious or anything, so I really wanted to finish that series, and it's so cute on the bottom of my shelf because they're young adult epic fantasy, so, like, they're thick, but they're not, you know? Like, are you going to give a young adult an 800 to 1,000 page per book? No, but if they're into epic fantasy, then this is a good jumping off book series. Number 7, The Gambler Grimoire by B.R. Kingsolver. January was really interesting. This is not rated because, like Skin, I couldn't decide, but for different reasons. The reason is I'm not a magical academia girly. I just don't really care. I should have, I don't know. I should have figured that out. I should have looked even more into myself, asking why I got the book if I'm not into magical academia, when I'm not that interested in it. But I was like, okay, I'm going to go for the urban fantasy and the mystery part, but the backdrop is a magical college with wands and capes and stuff. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that was my bad. That was my bad. I finished the book for the mystery, and thank you for wrapping it up so nicely. But yeah, I can't do magical academia. I just think it's corny. Not saying that this book is bad, not saying that it was poorly written. None of that. No. I tried with Harry Potter. I thought that thing was trash before everyone else thought it was trash. Thank you very much. I thought it made no sense. It was stupid. And it just, I get secondhand embarrassment when people are in capes and they're waving wands. I don't know why. So I did this to myself. It is not the author's problem. It's not the book problem. It's a me, it's a me problem. It's like I'm breaking up with this book. No, I'm kind of breaking up with the sub-genre of magical academia. It's not you, it's me. Okay, we're just gonna move on. Number 8, Mason's Television by John Athan, and that's 3 stars. Yeah, average. Though I did like the message at the end of that novel. That was a good one. So it was 3 stars. Number 9, The Guncle by Stephen Rowley, 5 stars. So damn good. I'm gonna have a book review on that. And I don't usually like contemporary books, but this was a good one. I'm glad that it was recommended to me by someone on Goodreads, and I don't remember who it was. It was very much in passing. Apologies if it was you and you're watching. Number 10, The Omen by David Seltzer. It's 4 stars. I have a review on that. And I did watch the movie, and the book's better than the movie. Even though the book is a novelized version of the movie. They were trying to go for like The Exorcist, and that's how they came up with The Omen, because The Exorcist was so damn popular, and they wanted Hollywood and specific people, I don't remember the names, wanted to recreate it. And I couldn't watch The Exorcist all the way through, and The Omen was very boring. However, the book versions were good for each of those movies. Number 11, one of my favorites. It's in the top 10 of all time books for 2024, I already know. It's the Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands by Heather Fawcett. That's 5 perfect stars, and I did a review on that book as well. It's a second in the series though, so you have to read Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies and then go into the second book. Number 12, Stuart Little by E.B. White, 2 stars. I don't know what was the point of that book. There were high hopes in the first 40 pages, and then it just went down. And I remember loving the movie. I did not read the book as a kid. So I was like, oh, well, I'm gonna read the book because I got it from my little library and it's great. No, it's not. I might need to hold off on reading classic children's literature for a while because yeah, I'm not hitting it. It's not going for me. It's not going well for me at all. I think the one that was good-ish, it was 3 stars, the BFG, and I think that's it. It makes me nervous. So I'm gonna have to hold off on the other 2 classic children's literature books that I got at the little library and just give myself a break. Number 13, The Dragon Knight by James A. Owen, and that's a 3.5 stars rounded up to 4 because it's very nostalgic. It's part of the, what is the book title series? I don't remember, but oh wait, where is it? But I didn't know that this was a bunch of short stories. I thought it was just one novella. So I set myself up a little bit too much for I don't know. What did I do? I don't know. This was an interesting book. And so he self-published it because I guess the publishers didn't want this type of format where it's just a bunch of short stories that eventually end in it all makes sense. And so James, has self-published it, and I think there needs to be a proofread. There are one too many typos in every single chapter. That threw me off as well. Look, if there were, like, let's say 5 typos throughout the whole 230-page book, that's not a problem. Shit happens. However, when it's multiple in every single chapter in the 230-page book, proofread. Number 14, Night Broken by Patricia Briggs. That's a 4 stars. I read that in like 2 or 3 days. Number 15 is Fire Touch by Patricia Briggs, and that's 4 stars as well. I think I read that in 3 to 4 days. It was a last-minute additions to this month. I was at a weird place of how do I get in some more books because I need to read. Like, I need to read or else I go a little cuckoo for Cocoa Pops. But I have 2 chunky books to read in February. That needs to start on the 1st. Yay for having an extra day in February this year. But I can read the new Sarah J. Maas book, even though it's probably like 800 freaking pages, when it comes in the mail on the 31st of January, and then I'm starting it like probably that night, and then like on the 1st we're going for it. And then Black Leopard, Red Wolf by Marlon James is also chunky, and that's epic fantasy, and I'm like, ooh, okay, let's see. So I was in a weird space where I needed something fast. Actually, 2 books. No, sorry, actually 3 books that were fast. So that would be the 2 Patricia Briggs books. And then 16, the final book is Carmilla by Sheridan Le Fanu, and that was 5 stars. That is better than Dracula. Yeah, I said it. I said it. I'll be doing a review on Carmilla. That was a lot, and I have finally caught up with all the things needed to film this video. It was a hectic but also kind of fun January. It was my birthday month, and I was also doing a lot of stuff for my book release for Murderous Fairies that comes out late March. But I really liked almost all the books that I read for January. Thank you so much for watching my January book wrap up for 2024. I hope to see you in the next video, and have a great rest of your day. Bye.